Hey guys, what's going on? Listen, new developments in the Megan Thee Stallion trial. Baby, there is a detective called LAPD Detective Ryan Stogner who Tory Lane had him set to testify because Tory said that this detective messed up the investigation. However, he is also the investigator that actually interviewed Megan when she was first shot. If you guys don't know, we are talking about the Tory Lanez trash ball leprechaun versus Meg the Stallion. Now, let me just say this, right? I approach this with eyes wide open. I know a lot of people are reading fake reports, listening to academics, and listen to whatever is on Twitter. But if you actually go to the actual case file, when I say case file, I mean the actual things that are in the court documents. You can go to Unicourt. It tells a different story. I am going to be covering the trial, but let's get into how the detective, who could or could not have gone either way, is now prohibited from even testifying because he has a domestic violence charge. So you can't even talk about that. Also, let's talk about how Torey, I think, has been hit with 3 felonies. He has entered his second call for not guilty. Let's get this. Tory Lanez allegedly shouted "Dance B" at Megan Thee Stallion before shooting her in her feet. Megan observed Mr. Peterson, we call him bald-headed leprechaun, holding a firearm, and then she observed him start to shoot. LAPD Ryan Stoger testified Tuesday. Now, I will say this, right? I feel like with Megan Thee Stallion, it's a really hard predicament. I feel like there are a lot of people that don't like her strength, don't like her attitude, and a lot of people have wanted to see her humble for a while. I think a lot of people are running with what's going on with this Tory Lanez thing as a humbling moment for Megan Thee Stallion. I think it's sick, and I think a lot of people, when this trial's over, are going to feel really, really stupid. The only sad thing is the same people that are going after her with absolutely no evidence and also saying, oh my God, like you're thinking too emotionally. When you look at the evidence, every time somebody says when you look at the evidence, when it comes, well, I don't want to say every time, but I feel like she's going to get it going and coming. If he's found not guilty, and I don't see that happening, but we'll see, it's a court of law. Then they'll be like, yes, he was vilified and good for him. He's getting he's getting vindicated. But if he isn't, if he's found guilty, then people are going to be like, see, that's why the system's set up against a black man. Can I just say this? Yes, the system is set up against minorities in America, black people specifically, not just men, but black people specifically. But has it occurred to you that maybe some black men actually are guilty? I just don't understand. Tory Lanez was not even popping before he decided that he was going to humble Meg Thee Stallion, and now something he is. I heard a bunch of y'all in the comments talk about something. Y'all understand? Kelsey was the one that had that. If Kelsey's the one that has the gun, and she's the one that did it, according to everybody that's saying it, then why wouldn't Tory throw Chelsea under the bus? Do you think Tory cares about her as opposed to his career not being let into America and possibly having to do jail time? I'm being dead serious. Do you think that matters to Mr. Lanez? I don't think so. I think the reason why Kelsey is being quiet is because she wasn't the one with the gun. Again, that whole thing about her having gunpowder residue on her hands, let's wait to trial to see what happens. Let's not forget that, Meg's attorney, Alex Spiro, actually said that they have 2 confessions from Tory. One in text message and another when he called from the jail begging for forgiveness. Anyway, y'all can keep following this leprechaun king. If you really read the Brothers Grimm, you know we're following a leprechaun will lead you, especially a balding one. Anyway, let's get into this, right? Now, Tory Lanez's lawyer entered a new not guilty plea for Tory after his second arraignment on Thursday in his felony assault case alleging he shot Meg Thee Stallion in her feet during a drunken dispute in July 2020. Lawyer Sean Hawley appeared by phone on the rapper's behalf and entered the updated plea after a Los Angeles Superior Court judge decided at a preliminary hearing last month that prosecutors had enough evidence to warrant a jury trial. Okay, so that's what we're getting. I do want to know in the comments, let me know respectfully, because if not, you know how it goes. If he is found guilty or even not guilty, is that going to be enough? I'm serious. If he's found not guilty, I will accept the verdict. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in HE double hockey sticks that he will be found not guilty. But if he is, I will accept the verdict. If he is found guilty, are some of y'all gonna be able to accept the verdict and not turn this into the system's trying to keep him down? The system is trying to keep people down, but not guilty people. Anyway, it says, now let's go into what Meg is saying actually happened that night. A drunk Tory Lanez allegedly shouted, "Dance, B," before shooting at the feet of Meg Thee Stallion during a roadside dispute following a pool party at Kylie Jenner's house last year, according to vivid testimony Tuesday in the rapper's family assault case in Los Angeles. Megan recounted the exchange to LAPD Detective Ryan Stogner after the Alone at Prom rapper born Daystar Peterson. Daystar, Torey. Who changes their name to Torey? Your name is Daystar Peterson, and you changed your name to Torey? Something's already up. I'm just saying, guilty or innocent, something a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Also, he has a history of domestic violence, a history of abuse. Look what he did to what is it? Augusta Allison, the guy, entanglement. Look what he did to him. He beat him, had his goons jump on him, and then lied about even being there, even though there was video evidence of this. And this is your king. This is who y'all are following off the cliff. Gonna be a lot of egg on y'all faces anyway, right? He allegedly pointed a semi-automatic 9mm weapon handgun at Meg and opened fire in the Hollywood Hills on July 12th, the detective said he was assigned to the case 2 days after the shooting and interviewed Megan, right, over the phone on July 16th. Megan said as she exited the vehicle, she heard Torey yelling obscenities at her, and he stated, "Dance, B," and began firing a weapon at her. Megan observed Torey's leprechaun observed Torey holding a firearm, and then she observed him starting to shoot. Megan immediately felt pain in her foot, observed blood, and fell to the ground, and then crawled to an adjacent driveway of a residence. He described her injuries as bleeding profusely. I don't understand also how people doubt Megan. One, there is actual footage from the LAPD helicopter and also on the ground. You guys saw her staggering. You saw her bloody feet. The fact that people are saying because she got shot in the foot and didn't get permanently crippled as proof that a crime didn't happen to her, it boggles the mind. Anyway, the detective's testimony convinced Judge Keith Barjon that Torey should stand trial in felony charges that he used a concealed semi-automatic firearm to shoot and wound Megan. But before the judge's rulings, Peterson's high-powered lawyer, Sean Hawley, gave her first courtroom peek at his on-the-record defense. Hawley grilled the detective over his interviews with Megan and pieced together an alternative narrative alleging Megan became involved in some type of physical altercation with Kelsey Harris, her friend and former assistant, inside the black Cadillac Escalade leading up to the shooting. Torey's lawyer suggested, right, that Chelsea became jealous after Torey claimed in the car that he and Megan had slept together. Let me just get this straight. That this is what everybody believes. First of all, I don't blame the lawyer for coming with this BS, because that's what lawyers are paid to do. Come up with BS alternative narratives that the jury might believe. Fine. And also, Torey might be telling her this, so she thinks it's the truth. But don't just talk on planet Earth. Let's get this straight. Torey, this will represent Torey because he's 3 apples high. All right? And Megan, this will represent Megan because she is a built Amazonian goddess. And this is Chelsea because yeah, but you're all right? This is Chelsea. So Chelsea became jealous, right? That Torey said he was chopping down Megan. When Megan said that she has had no physical relationships with this man, y'all believe that Megan Thee Stallion, when she was at the height of "I'm a savage," what? Classic Megan when she was taking over TikTok, Megan when she was making big money, Megan when she had features with all these people, And Tory Lanez, who wasn't even hot in America, yeah, I know he had a little like underground burn, but he wasn't even hot in America until people thought that he assaulted a black woman that they thought should be humbled. A woman, because I don't even think Tory would do this to anyone that they thought should be humbled. And now all of a sudden, what? I mean, his mess still isn't selling, but he has a little bit more cred because, you know, some people love a good abuser. Y'all believe Tory Lanez was chomping down Megan? When Megan was the more famous one, Megan was the taller one, Megan was the stronger one, and Tory Lanez looked like this. Do y'all really believe that? Megan has gone on record as saying there was no sexual relationship. Tory is lying. The fact that you guys believe that lie, not y'all, but the fact that people believe that lie is just evident of the fact of y'all just don't want her to win, because who would believe that? I'm gonna need some video proof. I'm gonna need some evidence. I'm gonna need some text messages, not just Tory lying self saying, yeah, oh, yeah, she was for me. Are you insane? Are you insane? Break him in half. The audacity. Anyway, let's see. They said, did Megan tell you at some point that the argument in the car escalated when Tory revealed to Kelsey that he was in an intimate relationship with Meg? The detective said, I'm not aware of that. The part he left out was because I live on planet Earth. She said, do you remember her saying that Tory bringing that up created, in her words, drama because Meg knew Kelsey had a romantic interest in Tory? The fact that people are so eager to believe that Meg somehow did something or deserved to be shot or is lying and shot, that you are going to let this leprechaun lie and say he chopped down Meg the Stallion with no proof. Tory Lanez is a known abuser and he is a known liar, and he has been caught lying several times. So you're taking a known liar and known abuser, trying to give an alternative alibi to not just keep him out of jail, but to keep him from being banned in the US because he's Canadian and he doesn't want his immigration messed up. If he's convicted, he cannot perform in the US anymore. He's trying to save his whole life, and y'all somehow believe that this guy with a known history of lying, known history of abuse, and so much to lose is telling the truth about this? We'll see. Anyway, the lawyer said, do you remember her saying that, I'm sorry, that was a reference that Megan was aware that Kelsey had some, there was a reference that Megan was aware that Kelsey had some affection for the defendant. Okay, so Megan said Kelsey was trying to get with Tory. Kelsey might have needed his money. Kelsey might have needed his fight. Maybe that was a celebrity to Kelsey. But Megan was bigger than everybody in the car, not just height-wise, but fame-wise, money-wise, and everything like that, right? Hair-wise too. They said, and do you remember Megan saying to you in your videotape interview with Kelsey, that Kelsey said in the car that this wasn't the first time that Megan had backdoor her with a guy? Stoner said yes. The detective also testified that Megan stated during her interviews that she and Kelsey were arguing again. So Kelsey thought, because Tory's manipulative, this is just my alternative theories, and forgive me theories, Tory started some drama, right? Between her and Kelsey. Kelsey was thirsty. Okay, don't mean that Megan hit him. And if my best friend or a good friend started arguing with me about a bald-headed leprechaun that's literally trying to start drama, I would start arguing too. Like, why are you listening to this leprechaun? Why are you letting this leprechaun come in between us? Anyway, right? Tory's lawyer then claimed that Peterson told police in an interview, Peterson is Mr. Midget, told police in an interview captured on body cam footage, I was just trying to protect my girl. So there is body cam evidence that Tory was referring to Kelsey as his girl. But now he's saying that he was chopping down Megan too? Okay, y'all really think, anyway, right? He said, I was just trying to help my girlfriend. I was just trying to help my shorty. Y'all are defending someone that used this line in 2022. I was just trying to help my shorty. This is y'all king. Anyway, the detective said he didn't recall those statements. Tory's lawyer further suggested that Kelsey may have had possession of the gun and shot Megan at some point because the investigators found gunshot residues on her hand. Okay, fine. So if that's the case, then why doesn't Torey say Kelsey did it? He's still trying to protect his shorty? I'm just wondering. Hold on. All right. The detective later said under questioning by Deputy District Attorney Kathy Tao that gunshot residue can be transferred to someone's hand by being in the vicinity of a gun that's fired. You know what else it can happen? It can be transferred when somebody shoots a gun, then passes it to their dum-dum who's thirsty, that takes the gun after it's been fired. Gunshot residue was on their hand. And not only that, didn't Kelsey get a bunch of money in her account? Didn't Torey text Megan and Kelsey offering them money to stay quiet? And Megan said, you better go F yourself. Okay. Anyway. Torey was quiet throughout most of the nearly 90-minute hearing, but had a momentary outburst when that's the assistant deputy district attorney, right? When the deputy assistant attorney asked the detective about the jail call the rapper made to Harris, right? While she was with Megan at the hospital. So apparently Torey made a call to Kelsey while she was with Meg at the hospital after the shooting. On the phone call between Torey and Kelsey, at any point did Kelsey make any statement about having been assaulted or shooting Megan? The detective said no, right? And he said that actually Torey was apologizing during the call. They said, hold on, he was apologizing during the call. Again, they said, you tell me what I was apologizing for. That doesn't make any sense. So Torey Lanez shouted in court, like he doesn't know. You guys, this guy's a stunt queen and antics. He put that out there so in the media, the people that are doing this, these conspiracy theories can go run with it. Man, shut up. They have you on tape apologizing. He's on tape apologizing. It was from jail. All jail called to record it. So listen, if we find out that your little minion king is lying about this, what else is he lying about? Anyway, his lawyer placed her hand on his shoulder and urged him to stop speaking. That's right, because it's on tape. Anyway, earlier in his testimony, the detective said that according to Megan, moments after she was shot, okay, Kelsey, right, and Torey rushed to her side with Torey apologizing profusely. Megan stated the defendant apologized for doing it and offered her money and begged her to please not say anything and made a reference to the fact that he was already on probation and he begged her not to say anything. The lawyer later got the detective to confirm that that Megan said during her interviews that everybody had a lot to drink, including her. Okay, fine, she has a lot to drink, but she did not imagine two people rushing toward her. Let's also not forget that there is footage of everything, right? Holly also asked the detective if he had found any evidence that Torey was on probation. The detective said he couldn't. Okay, but how does that make the detective look bad or Megan? That just shows that Torey is a liar, liar, liar. Anyway, Torey was taken into custody by officers who responded to the shots fired call near the 1800 block of Nicholas Canyon Road the morning of the alleged shooting. Booked on suspicion of possession of a concealed firearm in a vehicle, he was released hours later after posting his $35K bail. Megan didn't publicly identify him as her alleged assailant for weeks, but finally named him more than a month later on Instagram. That's because Torey was taunting her on Instagram. Y'all crazy. Somebody is taunting you on Instagram. There's only 3 people in the car. You're taunting her on Instagram. What do you think is going to happen? Anyway, y'all, I'm going to be covering this plot. It is going to be a lot. I'm going to cover it, and whatever comes out, I'm going to be happy with the judge's ruling, but I'm just telling y'all things are not going to end well for your little leprechaun king. And before you come to me with what you heard on Twitter or what your sister, mother, brother, or the fact that you know girls like Meg and blah, 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 please go to Unicourt and read the court documents. It's not looking good for Torey. He got 3 felonies against him. They got tape confessions. They got body cam footage. Man, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Let me know what you think in the comments.